Hey there, Abby Bolt here, host of Her Brotherhood and Up in Flames podcast, where we talk about workplace issues and going up in flames instead of down. So today I wanted to talk to you about all this telework stuff that's going on. If you are just getting into teleworking because of the coronavirus, or if teleworking is something you've been doing for a while, whichever it is, let's talk about some tips, tricks, and hacks with teleworking. This is awesome, and it's going to be a really great time to warm up managers who have never really been comfortable with teleworking or didn't really know how to manage it. This is your time to shine and show them, look how productive I am. I can do this. It's a good thing. So that's awesome. This is also your time where you can really blow it. If you don't work really hard and go above and beyond, there's no chance you're going to get to telework when you come back. So make sure that you are working above board, doing more than you have to be doing, and showing them that teleworking can be productive and you can make it happen. Let's get into some of the little tips, tricks, and maybe some things that you haven't thought of. One major thing that I've been hearing from people is, what do I do if I don't have internet access at home and now I'm being expected to telework? Couple of things. One is if it's because you just don't have internet set up, you can get that set up. If it's because you live so far in the sticks, you don't even have the ability to do that without maybe getting satellite or something else. Keep in mind that not everything that you do at home has to be online. So maybe there's work that you're doing and you can just go periodically and upload or download the emails, or turn in your work, whatever it might be. One little tip would be you can maybe go drive into town at certain times and go to a place that has Wi-Fi, sit in their parking lot, get your thing done, and then you're done. So talk with your boss and see what kind of some, productivity chunks that you can make happen, or how that works. So just communicate about it. One thing that I do is I don't even use a regular internet access. I actually use the hotspot on my phone and my iPad. I have found that it's actually faster than any wired service offered in my town. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. And I even asked the local vendor, I was like, hey, is this serious? You guys can't even beat my LTE speed? And he couldn't. So I produce, make, and upload all my podcasts with my LTE hotspot. So if you don't have that, that's something that you could upgrade and do. If you have cell phone service at your house, problem solved. There are a lot of positions that will require some heavy internet work, but not all of them. And for those jobs that have work phones, work smartphones, tap into them if you guys have a hotspot. And for those of you that do have heavy internet work, you're gonna have to figure out something, but get creative. Okay, let's talk about being responsible while you have kids at work. So I've been talking to some of my friends with the DOI, Department of Interior, and they put out a letter that said, hey, we're really sorry about the coronavirus and we're doing everything we can to help you out. And we want to offer telework to people whose kids are gonna be home, and hey, we're being really great. And then the letter talks about teleworking, and then it says, unless you have to care for your kids, then you have to take vacation time. I was like, wait a minute, but you guys just said they could telework because their kids were out of school, unless they're wanting to do work while the kids are out of school and they might have to be responsible for them. So they just talked in a big circle, and I know that there are abilities to do that. So, all right, first of all, what they don't know can't hurt them. All right, so you don't have to tell your boss everything that's happening. If you have kids that are self-sufficient and they are at home taking care of themselves, guess what? You're not supervising them. So great. If you're running a play date and you're having to play games with them and you're not working, or you're having to do something to take care of them, okay, sure, maybe tap out for that time. But just be smart about it. And you don't have to tell the people you work with everything that you're doing. Get creative. I know you guys can think your way around that, but if you're holding a conference call on the phone or something and the kids are coming in and crashing around, it might not sound really good. Priority is be smart. If you need to watch the kids while you're working, be smart about it. Set some boundaries for your family, for your spouse, for your dog, whatever it might be. Let them know, hey, this is when I am working and this is when I need space and privacy. Let them know what that expectation is if they're not used to it. If you just tell them look, mommy, daddy, whoever needs to work right now, and then you explain that to them, you'd be surprised. They might really dig it. And this is a really great opportunity to involve your kids in what you do for work. They're always wondering, like, what are you doing all day long while you're gone? Now you can show them, like, hey, look, this is what I'm working on. This is what I do. Give them a little task to teach them a little bit what you do. There's some really cool stuff. Like, I love it when my son is curious about the podcasting, and I'll say, why don't we do a podcast? And we sit down and we do a little interview, and it really gives him a taste for what it is that I'm working on. Even your spouse may be wondering, like, what the heck is it that you do all day long? So this is your opportunity to show them, like, here's what I do. So there you go. Or you might not want them to know, because now you're like, yeah, this is what I do all day at work. Set the environment. Set yourself up a workspace. Make it feel like a workspace. It can be really hard if you're just diving in and you don't already have a home office or a location. Identify the table that you're going to use, or the desk, or the room, and make that your workspace. You can leave everything there. You can walk away from it when you need to. Make that your space. You'll be a lot more productive. Keep lines of communication open. Okay, just because you're not at work doesn't mean you're not at line and queued up to be talking to your people. Be as available as you would normally. If you're available from these hours to these hours for your people to reach out to you, be available for that. And then stop. Your office hours can stop. Just because you're working from home doesn't mean that now you're working into the night when you normally wouldn't be. And that's something a lot of people can do. They end up working 24/7 and getting burned out because, one, they feel obligated, and two is that they just feel guilty. So don't. Now, with all this technology that we have going, being unavailable is not really a thing. You can even have FaceTime calls, face-to-face meetings now that we have Zoom and FaceTime and Skype and all these other things. This is an opportunity for you to exercise those things. While we know that face-to-face communication is more valuable than anything else, you can still do it while you're working remotely. Get creative. Use the devices that you have. Get out of the office/house. Get outside. Get a break. Give yourself some breathing room. Okay, don't be in there all the time, because what happens is when your home becomes your office, you're never leaving it. You're always there. You're always thinking about work. So be going outside. Get some fresh air. If you have a conference call, put in those headphones. Go out into the yard. Take the call out there. You can be creative. You don't have to be strapped to a desk anymore. That's something that's really a great advantage. All in all, just embrace this opportunity. This is a really great time to get closer to your family, get closer at home, get some things done at home. If you find that you can't focus at a certain time, stop. Just because it's work hours doesn't mean that you have to fit them in there. While I talked about keeping certain hours earlier, if there's a possibility for you to be flexible, be flexible. You're not on the clock just to be on the clock. You're not checking in just to check in. It's not like you're making widgets. If you're able to be more productive at certain times, take advantage of that. If you're a night owl and you're able to work at night, do that. Don't be online just to be online. Remember, this is the time that we want to make it look like teleworking is a great thing. So if you have tasks and it doesn't matter when they get done, put those tasks in places where you're most productive. This is going to be an opportunity for you to be creative in ways that you never could be in the office. So take advantage of that. So you're not going to have those really long BS sessions. You know what I'm talking about. The storytelling, the gossiping sessions that happen when your buddy walks by your desk or when you're hanging out at the water cooler. And next thing you know, it's been 2 or 3 hours and you haven't gotten anything done. You've just been chatting it up. That happens, and that's not going to be happening as often at home. So this is a really great productivity opportunity for you. For all of you that thrive and live on that water cooler gossip, I'm sorry, you're going to be missing out on a little bit of that, but I'm pretty confident that you're going to find a way to make up for it. Now, with that, you guys, keep your families healthy by practicing this social distancing thing that everyone's doing. If you're getting an opportunity to work from home, take it, appreciate it, and embrace it. Involve the whole family. Let's make this a good thing if we possibly can. But above all, stay healthy and take care of each other. Now, if you guys need anything else from me, or you're curious, or you'd like to work with me one-on-one, please go to abbybolt.com. Check out my podcast. Reach out to me. I would love to help you with something if there's something I can help you out with. All right. And with that, you guys have a great day.